What is up, everybody? Today I left the house for the ride, fully prepared to be riding in the rain. I got pretty lucky as it mostly was just a misting and damp out, and then maybe just a couple minutes of actual rain. Most people who know me or have followed the channel know that I don't really like riding in the rain. I don't leave the house usually if it's really raining outside, but as I do more touring and camping, I've had to get used to it more and more. Also, in Northeast Ohio, if there's a chance of rain and you don't leave the house, you're never going to ride your bike, because there's almost always a chance of rain, whether it's going to end up happening or not. So to be more prepared for it, when it comes down to it, for my bike, the only things I really do is I do put a saddle cover on because I use leather Brook saddles, and I do put a rear clip-on fender. If it's not raining that hard, it'll at least keep your butt dry. And that's the first thing to really be annoying when you're riding in the rain, I find anyways. So yeah, this summer, when we did our long tour, our first full day was in the rain, but it was over 80 degrees. So I don't really do anything for that besides what I said I do to my bike, because, you know, I find if you wear actual waterproof stuff that you'll just sweat more than you would get wet from the rain anyways. So the only thing I really do is make sure I'm not wearing cotton, you know, so I wear clothes that are going to quick dry, whether it be a synthetic jersey or a light wool, or even like the button downs that I have that are super light and they just super thin and dry really quick. When it comes to it being a little colder out, that's something I never really dealt with until me and Ben were doing our Connecticut trip, and there was a nor'easter moving across all of New England. So when we got up for our last morning, where we were going to have like 65 miles and 6,000 feet of climbing, so a long day in the saddle, we knew we were going to be drenched the whole day. I was glad that what I had purchased recently was one of the Rapha rain jackets, and it's one of their more commuter style. I don't really like their pro style stuff. It's just way too tight, and plus I wanted the jacket to be something I could wear in the winter with layers underneath it. So that really is the only true piece of rain gear that I have clothing wise. It does a good job, but so to make up for not owning like the pants and everything else, it's basically going with a lot of wool. And that's what I did today, the same exact thing. My wool hat, I went with this wool blend jersey, and I do have a wool base layer also underneath it. And then on the bottom, I'm just wearing some of my regular shorts that dry pretty quick. And then I have a pair of these wool tights that are made by Smart Wool, and they have a 3D weave. And so when we were in Connecticut and I got completely soaked, they were really great because one, wool still insulates when it's wet, but that 3D weave really helps keep it feeling like it's really stuck to your skin. I also wore long wool socks today, and then I wore my 510, they're kind of like boots. Those are really good at being fairly water resistant. If I had been caught in pouring rain, eventually it's all going to drip down through the shoes and get my feet wet anyways, but it did a good job being that mostly it was just the road that was wet today. So yeah, I'm not someone who owns a ton of rain gear, and I don't feel like I really need to own a ton of rain gear because I mostly ride when I want, and I don't do a lot of cooler weather touring, but it's nice to have a system that does work pretty well for me. In Connecticut, it started in the lower 40s, and I think only got to the mid 40s. Today it was 38 when I left the house, and I think 44 when I got home, and I was fine. I was actually sweating in the rain jacket a little bit and had it unzipped for a while, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I deal with the rain, and like I said, I minimally deal with the rain compared to a lot of people. You know, it's really interesting to watch people like Dustin Klein who live in the Pacific Northwest, and they have no choice but to be dealing with the rain a lot if they want to ride their bikes. I'm glad that's not my situation over here. Anyways, this is the ride from today, and you'll see what the conditions look like.
C'est à qui les petites oreilles?
C'est à moi.
À qui les petits nonos?
C'est à moi.
À qui les petits...
Well, here we are, just some light mist, so not too bad so far. Erin is doing an out and back in one direction, so I'm hoping to catch her out here on the trail, maybe in about 45 minutes, an hour. We'll see. Yeah, a little sluggish. Oh, gotta pay attention. 3,000 feet of elevation yesterday, and a little bit of a harder ride on my way home from my parents last night around 8 o'clock. So yeah, I think I'll still warm up and it'll go all right though. There's Erin's car. That's where she started. Pro just turned on its own. This thing's on its last legs. Gonna go home and order a 10. And I think I'm gonna hook this up as a security camera, just let it run till it dies. GoPro Hero 9s are, when it comes to glitches, absolute trash. It's like being back on my 5 again. All right, we are stopping here to see Erin's location because she's going out that way, and then she's going to be coming back this way. So I need to see which way I'm turning. So Erin is 9 miles ahead of me. I don't think I'm going to make it all the way to her turnaround point. I'll probably catch her when she's on her way back.
C'est à moi. T'as qui le petit nana?
C'est à moi.
T'as qui le petit boubou?
Probably not going to be anyone able to bike at East Rim Mountain Bike Trail for a while. Not with this kind of weather we've been having.
C'est à moi. On n'arrivera jamais à rien comme ça. On tourne en rond, merde, on tourne en rond, merde, on tourne en rond, merde, on tourne en rond, merde. C'est à moi.
T'as qui le petit boubou?
C'est à moi. C'est qui le cigarette? C'est à moi. On n'arrivera jamais à rien comme ça. On tourne en rond, merde, on tourne en rond, merde, on tourne en rond, merde, on tourne en rond, merde. Il nous balade depuis le début, il joue avec nos nerfs. Oui, les instruments de musique de l'ancien. Faites le tour des luthiers et des antiquaires et louez-moi des flûtes à bec, des césars, des fêtes d'amour. Ou des viols de gants, je m'en fous.
Well, we are getting some actual rain now, so probably going to have to put away the GoPro for a little bit because it's no longer weather sealed because the latch on the door broke. Yeah. Hopefully we don't get too wet, but we should be prepared if we do. Look who it is. Oh, hey.
Hey, babe.
T'as qui le
You getting any rain farther north?
No, just like this the whole time.
C'est à moi.
T'as qui le petit boubou?
C'est à moi. T'as qui les cigarettes? C'est à moi. On n'arrivera jamais à rien comme ça. On tourne en rond, merde, on tourne en rond, merde, on tourne en rond, merde, on tourne en rond, merde. Il nous balade depuis le début, il joue avec nos nerfs. Oui, les instruments de musique de l'ancien. Faites le tour des luthiers et des antiquaires et louez-moi des flûtes à bec, des sitars, des viols d'amour. Ou des viols de gants, je m'en fous. Pourquoi il ne va pas chez le dentiste? Il se dirige vers le bois. Pas sur le lac. Qu'est-ce qu'il fout sur le lac? Qu'est-ce qu'il fout sur le lac?
Yep, it's just me now. Ben and Erin stopped for a drink in Kent, and I kind of want to get home, have a warm shower, and put this video I'm filming together and work on a couple things around the studio. So, yep, solo the rest of the way. All right, see you tomorrow.
T'as qui les petites oreilles?
C'est à moi.